Hi guys, welcome back to React Cheat Sheet. This part 4 we will be looking at list. To get started, we will be creating a list of objects called people. So inside this array, we have ID of 1, name, so I can just call this as John, and age equal 15, and we'll be do the same for two other objects. All right, so this is the ID number 2, 3, name, let's just call this as Jack. This one here is Jim, age 25, maybe just 20 and 25. Okay, and down here we want to show this data, this informations in this app right here. So returning people.map. So map, we want to loop through this list of the objects, and now do the person. Okay, so let's just call this as person, and then we want to show the detail in this div tag, and now we can just simply use person dot name. Okay, now let's just quickly run this. Okay, so here it is, guys. We have John, Jack, and Jim. But now let me just inspect this, see if we got any error, right? And here, as seen, we have the warning because it says each child in a list should have a unique key property. Okay, what does it mean? For each list, it has to have an ID. That's why I also enter the ID here, right? So to add the ID to the key prop in the div tag, just add key equal to the person.id. All right, now let's just save that and have a look again. Let's just refresh this, and here the warning is now gone. So next, I want to also add the age detail of each person, right? So simply add person.age. Okay, so now have a look again, and yep, here it is, guys. We have the name John, age. Okay, so it is working as expected. This is the list in the React. So here again, just want to quickly recap what is key about. So it is an optional prop, and it's available for all of the elements, and it is used by React internally just to keep track of which element that have been changed. Okay, so it is recommended for you to have the ID added. Okay guys, so this is just one way of using the ID, right? So right here we are manually enter the ID. Okay, so another one that you can try is, instead of using the person.id that coming from here, right, we can use the ID directly from here. Okay, so this is generated by React. We don't have to worry about the ID. So I can just quickly get rid of this ID just to show you it's working or not. All right, so instead of using the person.id, we use the ID here, and this is how we use the ID with the key prop. Okay, just have a look and refresh this. You guys can see we still have the same result, right? So now let me just try to go to the previous code, and one more thing that I want to show you is using the, let's just close this, is passing the data from the app component here to another component, to the child component called component. Okay, so how do we pass the data to the child component? Let me just get rid of this. All right, so we're going to start from scratch. Okay, so now let me write the code. It's called people.map, and here let's just keep things simple for now. All right, so this is the arrow, and here we want to call the component. Okay, so need to uncomment this out as well, And let's have a look what is inside the component. So inside the component, it's actually just showing the text called m component. Now let's just have a look at the result, okay? Because there are like three data here, it's mapping through, right? And it called this component 3 times. That's why we see this data. Now instead of showing just one text right here, we want to show the text inside this people array, right? The list of objects here. Okay, so here we need to look through the array object, right? So to look through, we need to first do person, and here we can start using the persons, okay? So it will be the same thing, person, right? So the person here, basically we want to copy everything inside this array, right, as an object. And here we passing this data, right, each one to this component. We are using the props, okay? So now we can start using the information here from the component here. So to show the data, right, the detail here in the component, we can call, right, the name. Okay, so let's have a look. And here we can see we passing the data from the app component to the component itself, right? We have John, we have Jack and Jim. And if you want to also add like the name and also want to show the age as well, right? We can do it here. So this is age, okay? And have a look again, and yep, we have the age 15, 20, 20 and 25, right? We don't need to specify each one, but instead we just use the 3 dots. It's like we copy everything from here, okay? So now let's just have a look at the data, because right here we just look at the key as well, see whether we have this bonding as well. Each child in the list should have a unique key prop. And to fix this issue, I'll go back to the app component. We need to add a key right here. So how do we do that? Basically, we can just add like the key in the component here first. So key equal to something, right? So this will be the ID. One thing you can do is to use like the persons.id. Okay, so have a look. This is one way of writing the ID, right? So we can write it another way as well, just using directly as ID, and this is another ID. Okay, so now let's have a look again. We can still see the warning is gone. Now let's have a look at the component. All right, so this is using the prop, the structuring, right? We call the name here, and down here we can start using it directly, right? If you don't want to use this like prop, the structuring style, then as another way is using the props. This is the common one, right? So let's just get rid of this. Let's just comment it out, and then here instead of using the name here, right, we just use the keyword props, and then props.name, prop.age, and see if we can still see the result, right? So here, let me just refresh this, and yep, we still see the same exact result. I can just change this to 35 just to make sure, right? And yep, this is another way of calling the prop as well, but I covered this in the last tutorial. I cover everything about prop, but in this tutorial mainly we focus about the list and how to pass the data inside a list to another component, and you already seen just now. That's pretty much it for this part 4, and let me know if you have any questions. See you guys in the next video.